go.
Nah, you messed up the first one. I don't want to do it again. Go
ahead, Ethan. Go ahead, Ethan. What do you want to do? Tell me you want to count it down.
5, 4, 3, Janet Jackson. All right, look. This is a Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast. You know where to catch us at YouTube, Spotify, and Facebook. But we here because what happened last Sunday was inevitable. We all saw this coming. We all knew it needed to happen. Even those who was fans of Carson Wentz. But Jalen Hurts officially got the start. On Tuesday, he got the nod. What y'all think about that? Talk to me.
Oh, wait, what?
Don't do that.
Listen,
I can keep going. Hold up. I can keep going.
All right. I know. We know.
Well, let me say, I would like to start off by saying,
me with a good time.
I would like to start off by saying congratulations to number 2, Jalen Hurts, on getting his official start with the Philadelphia Eagles. And I also want to say thank you, Carson Wentz, for he showed a lot of what's the word I'm looking for?
No, listen, everybody tuned in. Like, what? Where you going with this?
I gotta say this about Doug. How Doug did Carson Wentz was corny. You don't do your starting. Hold on, not by benching him. I'm cool with that. How he benched him. Carson Wentz said he was on the sideline just thinking Jalen Hurts was just in for a couple plays. He was going to get back in. You don't do nobody like that, man. You don't have dudes standing on the sideline with his helmet on thinking he going back in the game. All of a sudden, he like, wait a minute, this bull not coming out. Like that. That's corny.
He was like Bobby Boucher on Waterboy.
That's corny.
Hey, Tim, you real giddy, but guess what? If Jalen Hurts don't shine early in that game, I see Carson Wentz coming in.
Carson Wentz ain't come back in.
Okay.
If Jalen gets hurt, that's when Carson going back in. Outside of that, Carson.
The only reason I say that is Doug already told you before he even went that route. He said if he benches Carson, it's like he already knew how the rest of the team felt about Carson Wentz. So if Jalen Hurts not coming in and now if Jalen Hurts shining, all bets is off. But if Jalen Hurts is struggling, I wouldn't be surprised to see Carson Wentz.
So wait, hold on.
There's
what do you
no
think
way
you're gonna get from Carson?
Me personally, I don't know. I'm talking about Doug and the way Doug handles this.
There's how worse can Jalen Hurts play than what Carson Wentz was playing? What can he do?
3 fumbles and 2 interceptions. Or
that's what Carson Wentz was
doing.
Nope,
he did 2 and 2.
Okay. Like I said, there's nothing he can do. We was at the floor. Carson Wentz is the floor.
I'm not.
You don't think somebody could play worse than Carson did?
No. Nobody is playing worse than Carson in the league.
See,
look at the stats.
I
agree, but Jalen Hurts ain't played a full game yet. So
I
hope he don't. But I'm just not going to sit here and say that you can't get no worse than Carson when you talk about bringing in an unknown commodity.
Go ahead, Ephraim. What you saying?
I said I don't agree with you saying it's nothing he can't do to get benched. I do think if he looked completely shell-shocked and he just looking all over the place and not knowing what's going on, it is a chance Carson may come back in the game.
Now,
he could use the same
so far,
excuse.
Do you see him looking that way?
But I don't see him looking that way. But
now, with that being said, I do agree. I don't see him looking like that.
Exactly.
At worst case scenario, he gonna do it. He gonna resort to what he could do best, and that's run. And once you start running, you can open up a lot of stuff because now you're gonna have to put a spy on you. The one thing I actually think they're gonna start doing is what Green Bay did to Vic in that playoff game. If y'all remember that playoff game, they actually blitzed Vic from his blind side. They tried to blind side blitzing. They switched it up a lot. They came from both sides. But
they almost killed that man that night.
Yeah, they and an attempt to make him beat him passing. And I think that's what they're going to try to do with Jalen. Is try to force him to pass by blitzing and making him get rid of the ball really quickly and making very quick decisions, which is hard for a rookie, a bull like him thrown in this position at this time. It's going to be very hard for him to do that. But hopefully, Doug foresees some of this stuff happening as a game plan. All right, if they start blitzing you, now we're going to start rolling you in one direction, or we're going to, hold cold coverage in, or if they blitz you, then we could just hit a screen on that side. I mean, stuff like that. So hopefully he got the game plan to help him out. But I honestly think that's what they're going to do.
Now, Ethan, going back to your original point that you was making about Doug, you said you lost respect for him because you felt like he should have been man enough to say something.
Because You don't do your franchise quarter. You don't. He was your franchise quarterback at one point. You don't do your starting quarterback that way. You don't pull him off the sideline, put somebody else in, and not let him know he's getting benched.
But
He's a
the
man out
T-Needs
here.
he should have known at some point. Listen,
So he should have. So this ain't the first time they pulled Jalen out and put him in.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the first time that after that, when he saw they was in there for a whole series, at some point I would have just
then it probably started clicking, right? But you pull. Listen.
So to prove Ethan's point, so if he would have just sat there and said, okay, well, I'm on the side now, I ain't gonna do nothing, and the coach called for him to go back in, then it'd be like, oh, see, he quit on the team. He's hyping, he's ready to go back in. He's thinking his number's gonna get called back.
Everybody knew that Jalen Hurts was in the game for the rest of the game. You mean to tell me the announcers? We all knew. The only people that didn't know was Carson Wentz. That don't sound right.
No, we wasn't sure. Go ahead.
Ethan.
No, I agree with Ethan. My thing is the only caveat I add to that whole thing is maybe he didn't know he was actually benching Carson for the game. Maybe he thought, let me see if I can get a drive out of him and see where this thing go. Let me see a series what it looked like. And then he saw what it looked like and said, you know what?
That's what
I'm gonna keep rocking with him. So that legitimately could have happened. But if he did have the notion that I'm benching this dude, I agree with you. Then at that point you let him know. But it may be legit that he really didn't know where he was going with it.
Listen, let's be clear. Let's be clear. Jalen didn't take the job. Carson played so bad he lost the starting quarterback.
Oh yeah, that's what happened.
I'm not mad about that. I'm just saying, as you gotta, as a coach and as a leader of a team, if I'm on other teams and he just yanked the quarterback and didn't tell him, that's a bad reflection on the coach of that football team. And the veterans and leaders of that team, they can look at that sideways.
Yeah, you see that, and if you realize, remember my biggest thing about Jalen Hurts is I'm like, well, what has he done at the NFL level? Because we had no preseason, he had none of that, any reps like that. So I'm saying that to say, even if he has a struggle, I don't think that proves him to be garbage. I just felt like he's underprepared for a season coming in because he wasn't preparing to be a starter and all that, and he didn't have a preseason. So that being said, I don't know. He might struggle. He might struggle just because. But and he's going against one of the top defenses in the league. So I think Doug.
I think they're gonna put together a nice game plan for him. I think they're gonna do more running.
I think so.
They're gonna do some and you know they gotta respect. Now with Jalen Hurts, you have to respect the read option with the quarterback and the running back.
Absolutely.
But the funny thing is, they don't run. Carson Wentz runs the read option. They wasn't running a lot of read option. That's the whole thing about Doug. That's the whole thing about Doug play. He may not be fast, but that's the offense that they was running more of with him when he was successful.
Or actually saw Wardy running offense and was Carson Wentz just running his own offense.
Here you go.
Was those the plays?
Carson
Wentz has a reputation of not listening. That's a reputation.
How? You don't even want to get his reputation to him. I don't hear this nowhere else.
That Carson Wentz does not listen to nobody but Carson Wentz.
Who said that? Who said this? Did Tawana tell you that?
Yeah, Tawana told me.
Tim, I gotta send you this video. It's on Plexico. Plexico Barris is giving an interview. I forget who the guy name is. They had the pool table, and he's talking about the year they won the Super Bowl. Him and Eli Manning.
Oh yeah,
he said him and Eli Manning had their own signals. So Eli look at the D. He'll get Plexico. So he said nobody else knew. Not even a coach or defensive coordinator knew what their signals was.
Yeah.
And he said the defensive coordinator come over like, yo, what was? He said after they scored a touchdown, he was like, yo, what was that? He said Plexico was like, we scored, didn't we? So I mean, it's just
but that comes with consistency and working with. That comes with working with the receiver with talent and understanding and having that connection. Same way that Eli Manning had with Marvin Harrison. You know, with certain things they gave each other that look like, this is what he's talking about.
Not Eli,
you just go with it. You're not Eli. I'm sorry, Peyton.
Yeah. Let us see Wentz try to do that with Alshon.
Alshon would run a wrong route on purpose.
Oh, yes, he would.
Alshon probably going to try to ball out like crazy. Like, see, I told y'all it's Wentz.
Alshon not playing.
Oh, he out?
No, he
didn't I send you the thing?
Yeah, no, he was in full practice today.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he was in full.
I hope he don't play. Honestly,
I didn't want him to play because
I don't want him to play. I mean, we'll see what happens. But I'll say maybe actually a good thing because he could maybe in a huddle bring some calm, some veteran leadership. I'm just hoping. This is
I don't think nobody on that team respect Alshon anymore. After he was leaking out, like talking all that, you know how the locker room feel about that stuff.
That's true.
I just think they should run all young boys out there. I want to see a whole run all your the weapons, run all the young boy weapons and Jalen Hurts and see if they can all bond
together. They
together.
said Fulgham plays went down to 40%. He only did 40% of the snaps.
I don't want to hear about Fulgham because he hit the ball hitting right here.
No, but I'm saying he was imagine getting because Alshon is up to 56% of the snaps, and that when you look at it that way, he's taking away a lot of valuable minutes from me, a lot of valuable catches that he could be having or playing.
Tim love excuses for the players he like, don't he?
Yeah, he do.
He don't play the same thing all across the board.
Yeah,
I do. I mean, any fifth-year starter though, I'm gonna hold him to a little higher expectations. I don't know why, but a rookie or a first-year player in the offense, I may be a little different.
So if Jalen Hurts stinks it up and throws 3 interceptions, gets smacked around, can't get rid of the rock, all that, you just gonna chalk it up that he's just young.
He won't do that though. He won't do that.
I'm just asking hypothetical. I don't think he will either.
He just won't do it. You're imagining
Carson
Wentz.
Well, actually, I'm asking you that because Carson Wentz didn't do that when his first came out either. But you hated on Carson from the beginning.
No, Carson, he wasn't.
You hated on Carson from the beginning. Are you going to hate on Jalen Hurts if he struggles in the beginning?
I wanted Carson Wentz to succeed.
No, you did.
That's a lie.
Answer the question.
And the lie detector says that's a lie.
Do y'all think we'll see more Miles Sanders with Jalen? I don't think the Eagles are happy with the way Miles Sanders runs all the time.
I mean, they went and signed another running back. You might think that might be an indication.
I mean, I say this. I do think Miles will be more effective with Jalen though, with the run option if they run the RPO zones and all that. I actually think Jalen. I mean, I'm confused about his move. This is honestly why I think me, Ethan, and obviously Tim, what was saying. I think they should have been started Jalen. And Wayne, I think,
and that's a very good point.
Well, first of all, let me ask you this because you said Miles being more so. I mean, Miles still averaged 5.3 yards a carry with Wentz. So I mean, was he ineffective? Except for the fact, I mean, he was dropped. We do know that he dropped passes and stuff.
He wasn't effective.
5.3 yards a carry. So then, what would make him effective with Jalen Hurts?
I didn't see a game yet where we say Miles put that team on his back and won the game. I ain't see that. Did you see that from Miles?
He was injured for a few games.
What was that game when he bust out with the big run and everything else? He got
hurt after that.
I think Doug would have called different games had Jalen started 2 weeks. I think we're 2 weeks too late. Be honest with you, we probably should have started versus the Seahawks.
I agree.
I might have to agree with you.
To backtrack real quick on Ethan and Wayne point about Miles. In Miles' defense, though, the way our games have been playing out, we had to come away from the run because our offense for through Wentz, obviously receiver drop pass, offensive line not blocking, we kept getting down. So we, in some instances, in a lot of instances, actually, we were playing from behind, so we couldn't even effectively get the run going like we probably really wanted to or should have. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see this. The reason why I say Wayne, I think Miles has been very effective for the most part of the time he's been playing. He has some injuries and all that. But I think the reason why I said with Jalen is just because of the threat of Jalen running. Like, you got to give more attention to Jalen now. That's why I think it'll open up for Miles even more. Like Miles, like you said, 5 yards a carry, that's phenomenal. I think it'll actually boost him up a little bit more for the fact that Jalen can run.
No, but I'm go ahead.
But if you remember, what's the dude from last year? Corey Clement. Remember we started seeing him and they asked Doug, why are you seeing Corey? And they was like, because he's a bigger back. And when they want to pound the ball, they go to Corey Clement. So that I think as far as tough yards and things like that, I think they don't have a lot of faith in Miles because Miles would rather try to run around you than through you. To me, he avoids a lot of contact. Like if you got to lower your head and get a couple yards, Miles to me ain't that guy.
But see, I guess this is where we differentiate, and I love that physical aspect of football. But if you can run around someone, doesn't it make more sense to run around and get yards than to try to run through everybody?
But he doesn't.
How he averages 5.3 yards a carry.
Listen, what he averages out that they garbage bogus yards. Like, come on, man.
Ephraim, I got a question for you. What
Yeah,
are the keys for the game for Jalen to pull out this victory for the Eagles? Like, what are the 3 things? If you could narrow down the 3 things that the Eagles must do for us to get this victory, they're going up against the number 1 or the top 3 defense in the league. What can we do to win?
I think the most important thing I think is misdirection is everything. Saints got a good defense because they fast and they get them the ball quick. But one way we all know, you know how you play basketball. And a bull who good on defense, he all overly aggressive. The best thing you could do like that is slow your game down and hit him with a variety of fakes. You hit a bull like that with a pump fake, he jumping out the gym. He always trying to block your shot. So you gotta hit him with the misdirection. You got him with the fakes. Act like you're going one way, come back the next. This is what irritates me though, because he should have been doing this stuff with Wentz, but he wasn't. However, we want to see if he do it with Jalen. Hopefully he does. Because it'll buy Jalen some time as a young quarterback. The one thing that's going to be your ally is time, because everything's is happening so much faster than it did in college, and that's his last real game time outside of obviously last week, but consistently has been in college, and everything is a lot faster in the NFL. So if you could buy him,
that's what I gotta say.
Let me finish up. You could just buy him a second or 2 more. I think that'll be a huge asset to help our offense work and keep him on the move. Don't try to make him a pocket passer. If he come out there with a similar Wentz game plan, I'm gonna be done with Doug. I'm gonna be done. Do not sit there and make this dude a pocket passer, especially with a suspect offensive line.
Now I gotta say this about when you actually watch Wentz actually had guys open on plays. So is it 100% Doug? Everybody keeps screaming Doug, garbage game plans, but this was my thing, and we talked about that I think last week. It was still plays that could have been made, and for some reason, Wentz wasn't making them.
But the reason
I was trying to tell you,
you know what? I
ahead.
actually kind of, and I'm not saying that I know this for a fact, but when I look at it, that's why it's going to be curious. I'm anxious to see what it looks like with another quarterback back there. Because sometimes I think that offense is so vanilla and so corny, the defense knows what they doing. So it's like, if you know what somebody doing, like you could, like, remember when we was the video you was breaking down before, Ethan, and they said how the bull was trying to bait Wentz into something. Like I think it was the receiver guy. He said how he was trying to bait Wentz. I think sometimes these defenses know this offense is so vanilla that they know what it is, and it's like we know what his reads are, so we might try to show this, and we gonna jump it. So sometimes somebody might be wild, but that's also on Wentz, whereas though you have to recognize some of that stuff, you know what I'm saying, or understand certain things. But that's how come the NFL runs plays where they deceive you and trick you and stuff like that. Because if the defense knows what you're doing, you got no win. It's like Tecmo Bowl, like Ephraim said. Emil said last week. You know what I'm saying? Tecmo Bowl, if you pick that exact play, you blow that joint up. So
now I say this too, Ethan, about the and the reason why I blame Doug, and you right. I mean, I'm not making excuses for Wentz here. I'm just stating the obvious. If your quarterback is struggling and you're not seeing stuff, the best thing you could do for him is run an offense where he was at his best. Wentz was at his best when he was on the move. This is why I think a lot of people was concerned, like not concerned, but kind of annoyed. Like Wentz, for some reason, and this is, I've seen a lot of quarterbacks throwing a run. Outside of like Aaron Rodgers and maybe like Steve Young, the Bull Wentz on a run is extremely accurate on the run. I mean, you got Mahomes now and all the other, Lamar and them too, and Watson. But Mahomes is very accurate. I mean, Wentz was very accurate on the run. And sometimes as a quarterback, you process things differently when you want to move. Like if things open up a little bit more. And I think that's why everybody was kind of like, well, he's struggling, but you know where he was most successful. You know his strength. Why aren't you going to his strength? That a coach has to take a little bit of responsibility for that.
Do you think Swartz and your man Brandon Graham, you think they can stop Taysom Hill? Do you think we got something to hold on?
It'd be nice to see Brandon Graham again. I ain't seen him in like 3 games.
I think Drew Brees is playing, ain't he?
That's the reason why I asked you about the Brandon. I didn't want.
Oh yeah, but Ephraim,
I was just hoping you wasn't gonna take a shot, but you couldn't help yourself.
No, I just said I want to see.
Go ahead.
He had 7 sacks for like 4 weeks now, right?
Didn't they roll Carson out the pocket that Giants game and he could have threw the ball away and he sacked fumbled?
Yeah.
Might have.
I mean, you talking about we're going to talk about old
But
stuff.
I mean, honestly, most of the sacks that he's had has been him being in the pocket.
But I mean, that play was egregious. That's when if y'all remember, that was the game. That was the game I said you should have benched him. That was the game I said you should have benched him at least for a series, just to draw on his head you doing dumb stuff. You should have benched him then and set the precedence of letting him know you on a short leash because this is unacceptable for somebody who's making this much money, who getting all the snaps, who getting all the reps, and you playing and you doing dumb stuff. That's when I think they should have benched him. But
yeah, he's folding under pressure. Let's be honest, he's folding under pressure. He does have a lot of pressure on him, but he's folding.
He folded.
He might have snapped him.
And I think this is what me and Email saw from year one.
See,
quiet.
Stop.
What's the problem?
Okay, so like I said, I'll go back to it. So if your boy Jalen Hurts come in and he's struggling worse than what Wentz did his first year, are you going to say he's a bust?
Based off of 4 games, because Carson Wentz had a whole entire season to do what he needed to do.
Okay, then compare his first 4 games because you was ripping Carson from the jump. So if Jalen Hurts is not his first 4 games doesn't compare to Carson Wentz, are you going to rip Jalen Hurts?
First of all, it's not going to happen. However,
answer the question. Now you're going to make me yell. I wasn't going to yell today.
There are certain things that you are leaving out there, such as
you sound like Trump.
Carson Wentz had a full. He had those OTAs or that's what they call them now. He knew coming into the season that he was going to be the starter.
Nope. He didn't find out to the week of.
Okay,
don't get the whole preseason. He was supposed to be on the bench.
We traded Sam Bradford. I get it.
Yeah, so don't.
But he was in that offense for the whole from the time he was drafted up until the season. He was.
And how many weeks was that?
Well, the draft is May or April, whatever it was.
But they wasn't running practices all that time. So Jalen Hurts, for now 11 games, Jalen Hurts has been at practice and he's seen the offense and he's sitting there and he's studying the offense. So that's comparable. Listen, I hope Jalen Hurts balls out because no matter what. Yeah, I really do. Because if he does, even if Carson Wentz is still good, now you have 2 pieces. We need players here. So I would love to have two good quarterbacks where you could trade one and get something for it. I would love that.
Listen, hold on. So this for all y'all too. What if say Jalen Hurts plays average, and right now average is better than Wentz played, right?
Absolutely.
The last 4 games. We agree with that?
We'll find it out.
Middle of the pack quarterback. What do you do at the end of the year?
You saying he plays average throughout the rest of the season?
Last 4 games.
It's an open competition.
Well, you can't.
Hold up. That's what I said a couple weeks ago when you sit there and was arguing with me.
All right, listen. How are you going to – let's think this thing through. If you do an open competition, right? Wentz loses, then what do?
You sit him.
You sit $100 million quarterback on the bench? Your backup quarterback is making $100 million.
You can't release him.
Because somebody will take Carson Wentz. Trust me. The NFL is that dumb. I don't care if he loses the quarterback competition. Somebody will take him and feel
that's what I'm saying. So not only is he benched, now think about this. Not only is he benched, he goes into the season, open quarterback competition, and loses. Now you want to trade him? You gonna get what you gonna get for him?
To me, it depends on how he loses. If he loses because Jalen Hurts is just spectacular, like now after a whole off season and stuff, and he's ripping it. But I think that's what you would need him to do to win, or Wentz would just be that awful and stink.
But you stand a chance of that. You stand a chance. But
no matter what, you still have to see something from Wentz before somebody just come out. And if you're going off of what Wentz just did,
your $100 million quarterback in a quarterback competition.
You don't.
Listen,
they're gonna have to either he's gonna be the starter, either he's gonna be the starter next year and get benched again, or you got to trade him.
I think it's relative because first of all, they did the same thing to Mike Vick when they put him in a competition with Nick Foles when he's $100 million contract.
Listen,
and it's amazing how the Eagles.
He wasn't a $100 million quarterback.
Even if
he was, they structured his deal. And it's funny. Wait, let me get this point out.
Go ahead.
It was funny how they played Mike Vick because they gave him $100 million, but they structured his deal where they can get out the deal within the first year. But when it came
And it
to
was a new
Carson
coach.
Wentz, what'd you say?
It was a new coach too.
It doesn't matter. I'm talking about the deal. It's the same
No,
high
Tim.
executives.
Hey, Tim. And
Well,
that was
it's a
stupid.
difference, though, Tim,
Listen,
between...
No, Tim, that was dumb. That was stupid. Who did it? Who was the coach?
Who's the executive? Howie?
No. Who was the coach who did that?
Chip Kelly.
Where is he at?
And he was the executive. And he was the executive.
Chip Kelly's a moron. Only a moron will put a quarterback, $100 million quarterback in a quarterback competition with the chance for him to lose. That's dumb. You don't.
But this is my point.
But the Eagles organization did do that.
When I say open competition,
and what happened?
When I say open competition, I'm not saying like you come out and say it's an open competition. When I'm saying open competition, I'm like you come into the season like and we're talking about this if Jalen Hurts struggles a little bit. You come into the season, Carson Wentz is our starter. That's what you come out. But in the meanwhile, you're watching both of them play in the preseason and you're watching how it goes down. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about competition. It won't necessarily be out in the open saying it's a competition, but you're watching how stuff going down.
I mean, I agree with you, but you still going to know for one, it's a competition. For two, it will be a disservice to Jalen if you do it like that, because if you're trying to, let's say, disguise it, right? Then that means you're not going to give him the reps with the first team that he would rightly deserve if he's possibly going to start week 1. So you're doing a disservice to Jalen if you try to disguise a quarterback.
But you could do that, though. How many times in the preseason you see where the starting quarterback might do like a couple series and then the backup comes in? So you do have situations.
That only happens really the first. That happens maybe the first game.
Only time the starters really play like that is the third game. The starting quarterback really only plays a lot the third game. Other than that, you do have.
But that's what the majority of starters. Normally when the starting quarterback leaves, oftentimes a lot of the starters come out the lineup too.
Yeah, when you got a lot of veteran starters.
I think you can't bring Carson Wentz back with this regime. With Doug in them, I think they cannot.
Have you not seen enough? Have you seen? What more do you need to see from Carson Wentz? Do you need to see him with somebody else, or are y'all ready to give up on him?
No, I think he's right now. I think he's mentally broke, and I think that's very hard to fix. Him and Ben Simmons are both mentally broke, and you can't fix a mentally broke person. That's difficult.
Ben can be fixed, but as far as
that's like, listen, would you tell your friend to marry a crazy mental chick?
No.
Is that a trick question?
Listen, the only person that can deal with a mess.
What the cake look like?
Listen, the only thing I kind of agree with Ethan. I kind of agree with Ethan a lot. I'll say this,
which is bad.
I mean, I normally don't agree with too much he say because
Let's vote for him.
No, because Ethan he'll never want to get props like you were saying before. But I would say this, I say this because the fact of the matter is, this whole open quarterback competition, he makes too much money. You gotta either keep him and rock with him, or cut your losses and trade him now. Because
so how do you trade him if no one wants to trade for him with that contract?
I mean, if nobody want to trade for him, then you got to.
It ain't about nobody trading for. It's about Eagles eating the $34 million in cap space. That's it. They'll somebody trade for him. It's about the money million. Or whatever it is. It's about the cap money.
No, that's true. And I honestly think the Colts.
So if they do that, then that also means that you have less weapons for Jalen Hurts again.
Yeah,
and then where you go for, and now you're setting him up for disaster the same way you said.
We're gonna be picking top 10 in the draft. And
what that mean? What do that mean? If how he's picking people.
You guys got to follow whoever the experts say to go as far as the best offensive.
How we think he is an expert.
You pick that. You don't try to outdo yourself. Don't try to outstick yourself.
You have to get rid of Howie this year. You can't.
Yeah.
I agree with that. You need football guys.
Howie has pictures. Wow. Howie has pictures of Jeff Lurie.
You need football guys. You need football people in here to make decisions of how we not making decisions. But I'll say this, at least with Fulgham, even if we don't have money to get nobody, I mean not with Fulgham, with Jalen Hurts. At least he got, these bums he got. Maybe he could coach him up and he'll play with him throughout this year and maybe start next year, and maybe they could build some camaraderie. I do think Rieger is going to be a baller, and I think Fulgham, if worked with viciously enough in the offseason, his main problem, he got two things he got to work on for me.
All right, y'all got to find a score before you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, I mean, What's
We was on this topic for a while. I just wanted to move on, but go ahead.
This is our show.
Hold up. Did I just
People can fast forward and rewind?
Did my mic just go mute? Like, was I not talking?
I told you Tim got that bedtime in his mind. In the back of his mind, he'd be like, I'm sleepy.
Go ahead. Finish your thoughts.
You just
like I was saying before I was rudely interrupted.
Go ahead.
If I think the two things Fulgham needs to work on, I think he needs to work on his hands, and I also think Fulgham needs to work on his run after the catch ability. I think he got to work on catching that ball, grabbing it, and going. You know who I seen doing that? I mean, it's a lot of receivers who do that, but I want to see him do it like AJ Brown. Like AJ Brown monster. He go in there, he grabbed that thing on the slant and take off. Like that's what I need from a ball like Fulgham. Your mic is muted. Ethan. And
he's a possession receiver. Fulgham not that type of player.
Who's a possession receiver? Fulgham?
Yeah.
You go work. Listen,
how many years he been in the league?
I think Jalen Reagor is really more of that type player than Fulgham.
I honestly, I am curious to see what Reagor, how he builds off of that last game. Like
they had a nice connection.
I mean, what one catch?
It's still that's more than Wentz.
Oh, he got Wentz
he was the bomb the first game.
That's more than Wentz like the last 3-4 games.
But
Reagor was hurt.
Listen, don't make me try to bring facts out to diminish the point I'm making. The point I'm making is he had a good game. He had the punt return. So his confidence, that's even like after he had the catch. He got up and was tall. He said some profanities, but he got up and he was hyped about the catch. Yeah, so I want to see how he builds on that.
The boy Debo died.
Oh, for real? Tiny Juice left him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it Corona?
That 2020 is taking it all out.
Yo, I just want to say shout out to all y'all who on this podcast.
Yeah, right?
That's my man.
I know.
But as far as around the NFL we go, what y'all doing? They fired the Jets defensive coordinator as they should for the bonehead that decided to do man coverage on Hail Mary.
Is he the same coordinator for the Saints?
He used to be the coordinator. Remember, he had the Bounty Gate where he
Bounty Bowl. Yeah, I might get him here.
So Spagnuolo? What's his name?
Greg Williams.
Greg Williams, yeah. The guy that used to be with the Giants, right?
They fired him as the defensive coordinator for the Jets because of the call he made that he allowed them.
So basically they're trying to blame their horrible record and horrible team on the defensive coordinator.
No, he shouldn't. That never should have happened.
Okay, even if that's the case, you talking about was their defense thinking up that bad, and do they got talent that was thinking up that bad? Like who is there? All they hyping the boy Sam Darnold. Like what has he done?
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm talking about. With sometimes with these teams, they want to blame one person. That's like with the Eagles. It ain't just Wentz. It's a whole bunch of stuff that's wrong with the team. So, but you know how it go. You blame you pick a scapegoat.
You looking at the interception?
Now Wentz is a justifiable scapegoat right now. I'll give you that.
Yeah, that was crazy. I'll say this about what you just talking about?
Greg Williams.
Oh yeah. I don't. Everybody hating because they said he died of a blitz, right? And my thing, I actually blame the cornerback more for that because why are you playing so close? If you know you blitzing and the only option is to go downfield, why are you playing so close? Like I'm not mad at the defense coordinator for being aggressive. Like, everybody needs to be fired. If anything, the cornerback needs to be cut, bro. Why are you playing so close?
Everybody,
you know what it is. They take it for the number one pick.
Everybody should have been back.
That's what I'm saying. So that's my point. So how is he the fall guy now for this? Because I think it's more.
That was a horrible play.
It wasn't a horrible play.
Did he call it, or did the dude play that last?
No. Like that? Here's the thing. He went all out blitz.
Yeah,
he always does that. They actually showed that's what he does.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
But why does the cornerback go ahead, Ephraim? Because
that's all I'm saying. Listen, why does if you know it's 9 seconds, it was 13 seconds left in the game, right? I don't think they had no timeouts. So if you tackle the dude, the game is over. If he catches the inbound, the game is over, right? And they had to score a touchdown. They had to get in the end zone.
Like we all know you eating.
Exactly. This nigga gonna
like he goes.
He's gonna take his screen out to take a bite. Then come back chewing.
You might as well just keep it on and just eat your meal.
My thing is,
a professional mug.
Why are you playing so close as a D-back?
I
That
agree.
to me
Ephraim,
is
I
more
agree.
egregious than the play call.
No.
Because you know what you act like you don't know what he know what the play
There's
call
nothing
was.
more egregious than all you have to do is keep your man in front of you, have everybody back.
But that's what Ephraim's saying. If he's calling all, it's very rare.
That was a bad call.
Wait. It's very rare if you call it all-out blitz. You never see anybody call all-out blitz and press coverage.
Listen, I got my headset on. I'm giving the plays. I'm like, listen, I want the safeties. I want my corners. I want everybody. We're gonna keep whoever he's gonna throw.
So was everybody playing back but him, or was everybody playing up?
Everybody's up except it was an all-out blitz except for the corners.
I understand all-out blitz. So the corners. So was all the corners
safeties? Everybody was up. You look at the play. Everybody was up except for
it's called a zero. It was a zero blitz.
So why are the corners up?
Why did you make that call?
But my thing, listen, if the corner plays back, does that play happen? Because for one, when you blitz him, when you blitz him, to me, when you blitz him, Derek Carr got to get the ball in his hands fast. You got everybody coming. The only option for him to do is to just throw downfield. So why are you playing so close?
So they firing defensive coordinators for one bad call. Why is Schwartz still here?
Because Schwartz is friends with the general manager.
Yeah, that's fact.
All right. Another thing, I won't spend too much time. Did y'all see the comments that T.O. made yesterday regarding it had nothing to do with Donovan whatsoever. Donovan wasn't part of the conversation.
T.O.
It wasn't. This is what
By the way, hold on, I'm sorry. By the way, real quick, Drew Brees didn't practice today. So it's a chance. They said they still practicing as if they might play against both of them, but it's looking more likely that Taysom Hill is going to play. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I think the Eagles actually could win if he play.
So here's a quote from Malcolm Jenkins this week about his return to Philly. He said,
Cam, no.
He said, I gave everything I had to that city and team. I just wasn't valued that much by the people making the decisions.
He right.
For me, it was about respect. He said respect. I didn't care what the money was. I wanted to see the respect. I was valued like I thought I was. This is what T.O. said. Remember, Malcolm said
you missed something.
What?
No, T.O. he didn't.
He not finished.
T.O. says,
Cam just threw a pick six.
Who Cam?
Well, y'all stop watching the game and come on.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Cam was like, see Cam. Yo, turn your TV off.
Cam. Oh, Cam.
Cam.
Go ahead.
Malcolm Jenkins' response. T.O. said, I feel Malcolm on his comments, but I wanted both money and respect. Why? Because I truly and honestly felt like I earned it as well as deserved it until Hayden behind number 5 added his 2 cents. But no matter what, I know the city, Philadelphia, that 81 will always love you.
81 will always love you.
Number 5 will always love you.
Number 5 will always love you.
I had no problem with what T.O. said. He was 100%
I was a big
right.
number 5 thing back to
T.O. is petty. T.O. is real petty. He never takes. This been years.
All right, hey Tim.
Years.
Hey Tim, go ahead and start cranking up that list of our picks for this week.
You know what? You know what's messed up though?
I'm taking the Rams.
Let's talk about let's talk about that though, real quick. And I understand New England is kind of hamstrung with some money and all that, but they ain't give Cam no weapons.
He knew coming in. I don't feel bad for him. He knew
no.
He knew coming in.
My thing is Cam ain't really had no options, so he had to go to New England.
But they had no weapons because they was cash strapped from the things that they did. So Cam knew the situation coming in. That's not the same as somebody like Carson Wentz, who they should have put.
It's nowhere in the world. It's nowhere in the world that their weapons should be worse than ours. It is.
Why? They bought those chips. They ruined their salary cap to win them chips, and I'm not mad at them.
My point is this though. Where we get Fulgham from? Fulgham was an undrafted practice squad dude that they could have picked up. Like, they don't even have a dude that good. They receivers are legitimate trash. It's receivers out there that they could have that's on this roster that's better than what they're giving Cam.
But everybody thought Fulgham was trash until Wentz made him look good.
I mean, I can't hate on that.
Fulgham is still up for debate. It's the reason why I got cut.
I'm not saying Fulgham. That's Tim with the number 1. He number 2. I backed off of that because y'all forced me. Tim forced me to put the anointing on before time. That's why I was so hesitant to do it in the first place.
All I know is it wasn't his fault though. It was Alshon came back and just messed up everything.
Fulgham better not stink with Jalen Hurts. All that talking Tim doing. Oh, he better ball out with Jalen Hurts.
But they played Cam. They played Cam.
Cam played himself. He knew what it was.
Well, listen. How are you gonna play himself when he ain't had no options? You think if he had a chance to go somewhere with some weapons, he'd have went to New England?
Okay, but he went somewhere where he knew they had no weapons.
But you saying it like he had options.
Exactly.
But you're saying it like they.
I'm saying it like he didn't have options to go nowhere else.
But how did they play him? This was their situation, and they brought him in.
Because you telling me they can't get better weapons than what they got? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe. There's no in the world you could tell me it ain't other people out here that they could get who's on somebody practice squad somewhere who better than this trash.
Well. No, stop that, Tim. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do Tim.
You're not falling for that. You picked the Patriots. Don't make me post no screenshots.
All right.
Hey, Tim, when is my video up when this is shown on?
No,
it's the screen.
So you can continue on with your meal. All right. So last week it was week 4. Last week was week 13, and week 13 it looks like everybody except for me had a winning record of 3-2. So congratulations to all 3 of y'all for y'all lucky.
We pick up where we left off, and you losing again, still losing.
Yeah. So right now it's coming down to the stretch. Like we all at 31-29, 31-29. So Wayne,
yeah, we're all
got
not
that
at
33-27. So right now he's in the leads, but we got 4 more weeks to catch him.
Mm-hmm.
But Wayne been on a little hot streak right now, so props to you.
I've been
consistent.
No. Wayne actually been falling off. I have been more on a hot streak than anybody.
Yeah.
I went 4-1. I went 4-1 2 weeks in a row.
But you also had a couple.
And I was smoking you so bad that you still below.
How about that?
Now, as far as we picked, because we knew this was a Thursday game, we had already made our picks for the Patriots and Rams game, and so it looks like everybody's going to get a win with that Rams.
Hey, it's still early. It's only the second quarter. Second quarter just started.
Yeah, it is early.
So right now, as far as the Ravens Browns, if you was picking Ravens Browns, who you got, Wayne?
I'm going Ravens.
You going Ravens?
Ravens.
I'm picking all Wayne. I'm doing all Wayne. Who you got, Ephraim? Ravens Browns. The Browns are home.
I'm going Browns.
Yeah, last week they looked pretty good.
Ravens is actually starting to fall off.
Yeah, I'm going Cleveland too.
Yeah, you turned on your squad last week.
I blame myself.
I'll go Ravens. I think they're a little hype. They probably smelling themselves a little bit, and so now they're gonna come down to earth. All right, Vikings and Buccaneers.
This one's.
I'll do my pick first. I'm gonna go with Bucks because Bucks coming off a bye. They should be nice and rested. All right, Wayne, who you got?
I still don't know yet.
I'm going Bucks.
Ethan.
Bucks.
I'm going Bucks too.
All right, Wayne.
I guess I could go the safe route and say Bucks, but I'm gonna buck the system and I'm gonna say Vikings.
All right.
I want you to.
Good.
I know you'll do.
Colts, Raiders. Raiders coming off that miracle win.
Colts.
Ephraim, you gonna represent Raider Reg?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Raiders.
Ethan,
I'm gonna go Raiders too.
Everybody might catch me and pass me this week.
All right, I think I'm gonna go.
Or you might lengthen the gap.
That's a possibility. Raiders. They might be. I'm gonna go Colts.
If Cam has some weapons, he'd be dead because he's throwing some darts with these garbage boys.
Whoever Wayne picked, I'm thinking opposite.
That pick 6 wasn't Cam's fault, by the way.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, the running back played him on the screen and didn't really fully run out. He threw it where he's supposed to be. and the bull and he wasn't there and it went right past him to do it and stuff.
Okay. This last game, Steelers Bills. It's the Steelers at the Bills. I thought this was a pretty nice game.
When I ain't picking Bills, I'm picking Steelers.
I didn't necessarily say I was picking the Bills. I know I usually go Bills.
I said this is a nice game.
You know what? I'm going with Bills. I'm going with the young Carson. Who? Allen.
The young arson.
Yeah.
Wow, and Carson burnt everything down.
Yeah,
He actually, you know what's crazy? I didn't think he come up and pass Carson like he did as far as quarterback ability.
Who, Allen?
Yeah.
So who you?
I'm going with the Steelers.
Ooh.
I'm going with the Steelers too.
Ben looked real bad last week.
Oh my God! Well, I mean, Ephraim got the same picks.
It's gonna be an interesting week.
I don't see Steelers losing 2 games.
Steelers playing on the road. I'm gonna go Steelers. All right. The votes or the picks are in.
Lock them in.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
I always forget every week. I forget who I picked. I remember like 1 or 2 teams, but I always end up forgetting who I actually grabbed.
All right, come on. Let's get to what I want to talk about now.
All right, so now, ladies and gentlemen, as y'all know, as y'all aware, the NBA season is upon us. So we're gonna do a little NBA talk, a little Sixer talk. What y'all want to start with? Y'all want to start with the league, or y'all want to start with our home team? It's up to y'all.
Either one. Let's start with the Sixers. But I mean, what y'all think? They sending these little clips out of the young bull, we drafted, throwing oops to beat and all that kind of stuff like that. I mean,
well, I honestly listened to Doc's interview, and they was they asked him, like what duos like you might see, like what pairings you see that could be something, and he basically was saying he's like everybody in Embiid. He was like Ben. He was like, of course he can't wait to see what it looks like against other teams, but he's like Ben Embiid and that pick and roll looks outstanding. I saw a couple clips where it was like Ben Embiid running the pick and roll with Seth Curry. That John looked like it was a little bit better than when it was him and JJ. Of course, they're not playing, but Seth can at least attack the basket. So, hey, listen, man, I'm curious. I'm anxious. I want to see the season start.
I can't wait till preseason. I can't wait. When is the 15th? I think
right.
I'm hyped.
Less than a week. Less than a week. It's in the middle of the week next week.
5 days.
Probably like Wednesday or something, ain't it?
Yeah, I'm on that.
Yep, Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
Even better.
Tuesday. And then the regular season kick off on the 23rd. We don't even play on the 23rd. We play the 23rd. So
you're gonna get to see Ben do a whole bunch of layups and
I can't wait to see Ben be the number 2 point guard. No, he's gonna be top 3 point guard in the league.
I don't disrespect my man like that.
Who disrespect?
Ephraim just said I can't wait to see him do a lot of layups and dunks and everything. That was called.
He got the new way to
giving him props.
That's called shade.
I'm saying he's gonna go to the hole and just be dunking on balls and all that. Like that's crazy.
And B gonna be banging that mid range.
I mean, I'm interested too. Honestly, I'm giddy. All
I know is if Ben Simmons ball out this year, I ain't ever gonna let a Latson live it down after they bailed on the light skin.
Okay, Wayne. Let's state now what's balling out for Ben this year.
I already told you top.
All right, I'm glad you asked that question.
Guard at least this year.
So what's balling out?
Balling out is 19. 19, 8, and 6.
No, I'm saying 8 and 7.
19, 8, and 7?
Yep. I'll say 18, 8, and 7 to me is balling out. And a defensive and shutting people down defense, the first team defense all again.
Would that satisfy you, Ephraim? 18, 8, and 7?
It depends on how he gets it.
So unless he's shooting a jump shot, it don't matter to you.
Yeah, and I say that because in the playoffs,
even if they winning,
yes, and I say that because in the playoffs, the 18, 8, and 7 is going to go to about 12, 7, and 7, or so. Maybe his assists and rebounds might still be the same, but his points is going to drop dramatically.
I'm including the playoffs in it. Me personally, if he ain't doing it in the playoffs, then it's a bust. I don't care. But if he do regular season,
if he not shooting a jump shot in the regular season, he's not going to do that.
I don't believe that.
What if they win it? If they win it all?
How is he going legitimately? This is why I was listening to a podcast and it was Shay Uncle Shannon joint. He got with that club Shay joint, and he had Gilbert Arenas on it, and Gilbert Arenas was talking about Giannis, and he was saying, listen, Giannis is not going to win the way he plays his game. His mid-range game, all Giannis try to do is Euro step to his way to the lane and dunk him. In the playoffs, they shut that garbage down. That's what Miami did. That's why they were so ineffective and they got blown off the court. Because now what you were doing is cute in the regular season. Nobody really game planning for you that much. It's week. It's every game every other night. So it ain't like you really crunching film in to watch somebody and so you just kind of playing your games and going through your motions and doing the best you can to win. Once the playoffs start, they start really hampering down on how to shut you down as an individual, not as a team.
And that's what
Boston did to Ben, and they're going to do it again if he can't shoot.
It's true, but if you got perimeter players around him now, then all that shut him down. And all he's doing is dishing to the perimeter players. If they knock it down threes when he was going to be scoring twos,
that's fine. Okay. But that's what I'm saying. Y'all saying Ben is going to be scoring. He's not. I'm not saying Steph and them, Dick Green and them ain't going to be hitting. But Ben not going to average 18 points in the playoffs. He can't shoot a jump shot.
If they send him to
just won't.
If he improves his free throw shooting, and they send him to the line, and he hitting them shots from the free throw line, I'm okay with that.
He probably ain't gonna want to go to the line as much because he broke his ankle last time when he played down low. I mean, in the paint, he ain't gonna want to go in the paint that much anyway because he probably gonna feel he's gonna get hurt again. He a soft light skin boy like Steph Curry.
Listen, leave these boys. Why you turning on them boys?
Yo, that's the second time today you done said something about Steph that.
I got love for Steph. No, I'm messing around, but on some real, he got to shoot the ball, but. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
They take the time out in the game, so Ethan came back to the podcast.
I think Doc saying he don't care about Ben shooting was a mirage.
I was.
I don't believe that.
You know, the only reason I honestly, when I look at it, I actually kind of agree with you because that's just like how Danny Green came out and he said he's personally challenging Ben to shoot.
I like that too.
But this is what I like about this team now, and this is what I'm saying about my hope in Ben Embiid is now you have basketball people around. You have vets that have rings, vets that been through the ring, that they're professionals, and you have basketball people in position of coaching that are well renowned. So that's what I'm saying. I want to see what they can do under these current conditions.
Hopefully they could tell him you won't win one of these and show the ring if you don't shoot that ball.
All right, let me I agree. But let me ask y'all this. If all this be Sam Cassell got Ben on the corner shooting jump shots, Danny Green challenging to shoot like LeBron did. Like I said, Sam Cassell got him shooting threes in the corner like his trainer did. Doc obviously probably going to be behind the scenes piping him. Seth Curry probably behind the scenes piping him. If this don't work, will y'all finally agree that if the right trade comes, I'm not saying trade the ball for anybody, but if the right trade comes along, would it be finally time to really consider getting this dude out of town?
After, again, you got to ask yourself, Rondo hasn't gotten a wet jump shot or any other.
I'm not talking about. Okay, I'm not talking about. Well, all right, I'll put it to you like this. Even as of right now, I'm not opposed, depending on what a trade would be.
What about Harden?
Players, I'm not doing it for Harden. Harden's like what, 32, something 32, like that. Like yes. I'm not doing it for. If you're telling me somebody like a Devin Booker who's in his prime and can score like that, I would. I don't see it happening. But this is what I'll say about the Ben Simmons situation. If you're telling me you fill this team up with a bunch of shooters, and even if his numbers drop, but the team is winning because these shooters are getting all these open opportunities because of how he attacks the basket, I'll take it. Now, if his not shooting is killing the team because the floor spacing is horrible and everything else, then I agree with you. But I think that my whole point was I always felt that a good coach could coach around that.
See, this is my problem with
Ben Simmons is a regular season basketball player.
I'm not talking about regular season. I'm talking about playoffs. I'm talking specifically about playoffs.
See, and I'll say this too about that. Look at Ben game, for real. Let's be real about that. If Ben can't dunk, he's not even a good finisher at the rim, right? Most defenders know this about Ben. If he drives to the paint and his two balls jump up, what's he going to do?
Pass.
I'll pass it out.
Exactly.
But I agree with you.
Hold on. With that being the case, all you're going to have is guards constantly waiting for Ben to go to the lane. He's going to get met by a forward or a center, and the guards is going to sit there and wait for him to pass out and steal it. You know how many times that happened to Ben last year, right before the COVID jumped off? He's watching the game. All they're going to do now is wait for him to get to the lane, get confronted, and pass because he's not even a good finisher at the rim. So now you're talking about a player who not only has to work on shooting a jump shot, now you got to work on a dude whose offensive game is suspect and can't even finish at the rim well.
But you know what I look at? With that?
I would trade him in a heartbeat.
For one, I've always said that I think that the most important thing that he needs to do more than anything else is shoot free throws well. Because if you shoot free throws well, I don't think that he's as scared to attack that kind of stuff in the basket. But that being said, I looked at when Doc had Blake Griffin and he had DeAndre Jordan. They used to throw oops back door to each other all the time. So now if I'm looking at that, now Blake did develop a better jump shot over time. Yep. But what I'm saying is I've always felt like, and I think we've all discussed that we felt this way, Brad didn't have the floor spacing properly for those two. Like it was too many situations, like, because he wanted to run that system, that one system that he had. I thought that you can design stuff where you can work more, like even if you do a pick and roll, it can be B floating out to the elbow to shoot the jumper, and you let Ben jump in. And then if they come out the B could take a dude off the dribble. Like, it's different things to me you could do off of that.
You know what I got? You know what y'all got to stop doing? When we talk about Ben, please stop comparing him to other players that shot the ball. Ben is a unicorn in the NBA because he doesn't shoot the ball. You gonna compare him to Rondo? You said Blake Griffin, but these dudes actually shot the basketball. We're talking about
how many jump shots did Blake Griffin shoot his first few years in the league?
He still shot the
Blake
ball.
Griffin did not. He did not. His thing was dunking on everybody every time.
Everybody shot more than
he shot no jump hooks under the basket. The same Corny Jones Ben shoot.
Everybody shot.
This is what I be talking about. Stop comparing these dudes to Ben. The only dude that shot less than Ben was probably Shaq.
That's true.
That's facts.
That's true.
That's facts.
I don't care how many times he shoot. If the coach can design
and maybe Manute
that we can win with.
No, Manute used to take threes.
He was draining threes.
He was drain 3-pointers.
We could design a system that if the coach can design a system
this boy shot less than Manute
can win with that. I don't care. care.
This boy shot less than Manute. Like, think about that. He's less than Manute, bro. Come on, man.
I'd rather Ben Simmons driving to the basket than Eric Snow shooting that elbow jumper.
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm trading Ben in a heartbeat.
For who?
For the boy James Harden. Heartbeat. And by the way, James Harden just expanded on his list of teams that he want to go to. And guess who 2 of them are?
Miami and Bucks.
Exactly. So
I don't care.
I do.
If he goes there, they have to give something up to get him.
If he goes to Miami with Jimmy Butler and the Bull Bam, you know they ain't giving up Jimmy, they ain't giving up Bam. Only dude they might consider maybe is like Tyler Hero or somebody.
Yeah, they're not giving up Tyler. They said Tyler Hero is not going to be part of it.
This is what I'm telling you. Anywhere he goes, they're not just giving James Harden up. The same way you're talking about trading, the Sixers saying they're not trading Ben for him because they feel like he's an integral piece. These other teams are not. These teams that are contenders are not giving up prominent pieces in order to bring James Harden in.
And might just see draft picks. That might be good enough. One piece and a couple draft picks for the next couple of years.
Houston ain't doing that.
Hold on.
Why not? They rebuilding.
If all you have is
Houston ain't rebuilding. You think? Wait, real quick. You think Houston rebuilding?
Why not?
They just running John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins. You think they trying to rebuild?
John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins is washed.
Yes,
right now.
But Houston, and that's what James Harden feels. That's why he wants to go. But Houston feels like they're retooling for another run.
Houston felt they were doing a good thing by running small ball, and they got trashed. I don't care what Houston thinks; they stupid. But bottom line is,
they got rid of that coach. They got rid of that bum coach that everybody hype up.
Bottom line is, if Harden goes to Miami or the Bucks, where finished.
It depends on who they got to give up for him.
No, it don't. Listen, if you just have Greek Freak and James Harden, that's all you need.
That's fast.
I don't agree.
That's good. That's good money. That's good
Ain't
money.
none of them stopping Bede. How about that? Bede MVP this season. Take that.
Well, B said he has a personal chef now, a personal trainer.
I believe it when I need to see the bull cook because
now
be eating it.
Exactly.
Now he does. Didn't he have a personal trainer last year when he was taking pictures on the beach and stuff?
No, he has a chef though. He has somebody. He has everything. He has the whole nine.
This is what I mean about these dudes, man.
That's the only thing I'm saying because y'all have valid points when y'all talking about Ben and Embiid. I agree. But this has always been my argument about the Sixers with Ben and Embiid is they don't have basketball direct. You got, especially Embiid. Embiid is new to basketball, and he had Bill Self for like 1 year. And then you come to the NBA, and your whole time in the NBA, you got Brett Brown teaching you this nonsense and letting you do whatever.
I got to go back to this Embiid situation because he signed a $100 million contract 2 years ago, right?
Yep.
And his personal chef was a drive-through. Now all of a sudden, you want to get a personal chef and trainer. Like, where is the organization to say, dude, maybe you should do this or maybe you should do that? Who's giving? What's going on?
I agree, but that's why I say they got basketball.
Let me tell you what happened with Embiid.
Brett Brown's cool with him eating cheeseburgers at practice.
Yes, he was.
These people.
He was,
but that's what I'm saying. You have a whole new situation now.
See, but this is my thing. Where's the self accountability? This is what irritates me.
This is what he's saying.
This is no. What he's saying now. How long he been in the league for?
But Ephraim, let's keep it a beam. Let's keep it the same way with AI. AI felt like he didn't need to work out because it was working for him and this, that, and other, and they allow certain stuff. So when if you're considered a top level athlete and everybody's giving you all this commendation and you're doing things the way you want to do it, you there.
No, I agree.
You're not there.
No. I agree with you, but in his mind, he's there.
But,
like, what do I need to change for?
But I agree with you. But this is what irritates me. Even with Ben, and it plays in the Ben. His last couple years, his stats have been dropping. So
his last year, the year before last, he
had a really good year. It was the last year that dropped.
Last year it dropped some. The year before last is when he was an MVP candidate.
Oh no, the year before last is when he got dealt with in the playoffs, and everybody's saying he was out of gas when he got dealt with by Gasol in Toronto and he put up some abysmal numbers right in the playoffs.
He was his stomach was hurt. He had a stomach virus.
Was because he got sick one of them games.
He got a stomach virus.
His numbers was hurt. One game he had like 15 points.
One game,
he had like 11 or 15 or something.
Okay, but we talking about the whole series, or we talking about one game?
No, for the most part, his series.
Remember he was crying. Remember he was crying on the court because he didn't want to get criticized. So he like, if I cry and everybody see me crying.
But my thing is, at what point though do you do like to me, social media, in a way, athletes kind of put out their workouts and their eating habits, especially the great ones, will have me on the tip where, you know what, I need to get a little bit of that. I see Saquon doing 400 pounds cleaning jerks, and I see LeBron talking about spending $1 million on my body every year, and he's one of the greatest athletes ever to play the game. I see Steph Curry, his working out, his eating habits, and his wife preparing meals for him and making sure. Like, I see all this on social media. So why don't you think you would need some of that to help your game out? Like, I don't understand this. Like, these dudes are great not because just happenstance. They work at being great. It's a full production of greatness.
I agree with you, but everybody's not wired like we are.
And that's what irritates me. They're not wired for greatness. And once you're not wired for greatness, you ain't never going to be great.
That ain't necessarily true.
You can't say that.
Yeah, that's true.
You might get hungry when you see everybody losing and you realize that you want to win. And as you get older, you may do some things to change your old
Sometimes
habits.
you have that moment where
you don't go through McDonald's, now you go through Chick-fil-A drive-thru.
And let me tell you the one thing about Embiid. Embiid is I say this to the day I die. He's very selfish. He's about Embiid. And when he didn't get picked first team and second team all NBA, that he took that personal because he loves individual stats. He want to average 28 and 30 points a game. So he's going to work hard just so he can get that individual praise. He likes that that praise from the people, from the masses.
Okay.
It's not about the team. It's about individual praises.
Okay. He cried. He cried after he got
Sure did.
knocked off the court by Toronto, right? And he was held in check pretty much by Gasol. He came back and had his worst year ever. Ben, y'all bull who y'all think gonna be the top 3-point guard, had 1 point against Boston, right?
3 years ago.
Exactly. And his
So
game
why you still bringing it up?
And his game has not gotten any better since then. This is what they do.
He's all defense.
I don't care about them paper stats.
How's that a paper stat?
Listen,
That's a paper stat.
Y'all point is very valid. What I'm saying is give him this year, and then if he messes up, if he's not doing nothing about a trade deadline, if it's the same Ben,
it's hollow. But you be real quick to tell me say he was MVP. Somebody was MVP. That's a paper stat, right?
Who was hollow?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying when people get MVP stats and stuff like that, it's a hollow too, right?
I'm saying Ben, all that. Remember he cried about being on the. He was begging for votes. Please vote me in for the All-Star. Yeah. I want to be an All-Star. Like this is the like this. This generation wants instant gratification for mediocrity. It's like the participation award dudes. Like
I agree.
Ain't nobody real
that was the Brett Brown effect. That was the Brett Brown effect.
Already got Iggy at the All-Star game too.
Listen, I agree. I agree with the things that y'all are saying. That's why I'm saying, to me, I just want to wait and see. This has always been my argument for not giving up on Ben and B just yet. I want to see what a real coach, with a real GM, with a real basketball system set in place. This was all hodgepodge loser mentality ball leading up to this, for real. That's like this is the same team that was celebrating Brett Brown. Brett Brown got us to 50 wins, and then we're in the playoffs to the second round. Like, they was hype about that. Like even though he lost to Toronto, they was hype. Well, he got us back there, and we went to Game 7. This is what I'm saying. Like now we have basketball people in our system.
Exactly.
So now that being said, this is my last shot for them too. Like, this is where they got to show me. Now you have no excuses.
I just think either it's what we say for years. It's the it factor.
That Brett Brown stinks.
No, that too.
That TJ McConnell stinks.
But it's the it factor. Either you got it or you don't got it. Some of these dudes just don't have the it factor. They don't have like all right. I came up in a generation, right, watching NFL films, and maybe this would mold some of my mindset about these dudes, right? And when you watch later players, like for instance Walter Payton, right? He was a monster. He had the hill. He ran up the hill. He built himself. He was not only gifted naturally, he added on to that. Then you saw players who follow him like LT. LT said, I got a hill because Walter Payton had a hill. Like, I realized there's certain things that these dudes did that was helped them be great, and I wanted to be great, so I went that extra
Ben is
mile.
trying to be great.
I'm not
seeing,
I'm not seeing that. I'm not.
You know why I know it's different
from these
but
dudes.
it's different from that era, Ephraim, and this is the difference. You
because
have
the millennials is trash.
This is the difference. You got guys coming in the NBA after 1 year of college and in high school where everything is pumped up, like they really don't have, once you're talented and you're like, they got them on travel teams and this, that, and other, and they're not used to losing, whereas though they got to push themselves because they're getting on stacked teams and everything else, like in their travel teams. So this is what I'm saying. This era of basketball now, you got a lot of guys getting drafted early. Like the same thing, same argument I made with Fultz. Like, he's a young guy. Like, give him a chance to try to grow and develop it. Like, everybody's not going to come in at the 1 year of college and just ball out.
No,
like, even with their mindset. Like, they still kids, brother. You talking about dudes that be like 19 and 20. Think about yourself at 19 and 20.
LeBron
Tim, you've been
James.
saying this for
LeBron was a freak of nature. LeBron, that's why LeBron is a GOAT. Well, second. No. Kobe struggled his first 3-4 years. His first 3 years, Kobe struggled.
To me, it don't got nothing to do with struggle. It got something to do with your mindset.
This is what you've been saying for the last 10 weeks. And I'm going to ask you, what more do you have to see from Ben Simmons? What more do you've been watching this dude for 3-4 years do the same thing? What more? And you said it about
Wayne has been saying the exact same thing.
What more do you have to see?
We've been saying the same thing.
Thank you.
Can you repeat it? It's not about Ben. We want to see what he'll be like under a new coach.
Ephraim want to hype up Gilbert Arenas.
You want to see what a
Gilbert
crazy
Arenas
chick is going
averaged
to be
10
with a
points
different
his first
husband.
year.
She's going to be the same thing.
19 is third.
Have you
before
seen
he
it?
gave him the
Are you,
Gilbert Arenas
this based on what you already
and this
know?
was with him
Or
playing
you-
some
can you
college.
pre-
Hold on.
You can predict the future.
Why we I referenced
Because this my whole point is how
I
many
referenced
years
Gilbert Arenas talking about Giannis, and he was right.
But this is what I'm saying about these players. These guys are kids, and honestly, I'll fall into that same fault. Remember, there was the same thing. Like we always talk about how I ripped Bron when he was younger because I felt like I thought Bron didn't have that go get, like he didn't have that heart.
Yeah, you was a hater for years.
But as I looked at it later on, he was a kid and he developed that killer mentality like that. Bron didn't always have that.
And I'm not talking about I'm talking about not the kill.
You talking about the mindset.
I'm talking about the
mental. Bron didn't have that mindset.
I'm talking about, but Bron had Bron said the first moment he walked onto the court, I want to be the greatest of all time. He always said that.
And he's
always said that.
And he's still shriveled in a lot of points.
Ben said that.
No, but that to me,
exactly. Saying it and doing it is two different things.
Y'all confusing the issues. I'm not talking about necessarily performance equaling out to you saying or being what you want to be. I'm talking about putting the work in behind the scenes. This is all, but remember the conversation started, we talking about B eating garbage. And I'm saying he been eating like garbage for years, but he's refusing to put in the work behind the scenes is what I'm talking about. Ben, when he goes to these basketball open gyms, you laying up. You laying up. Hold up.
You never know.
You laying
garbage
up.
to him could have been like a full course meal in Africa.
You ain't shooting no jump shots in the open gyms, but you doing the same thing you doing in the
rest. That's not true. He was shooting the jump shots in the open gym.
You saw the video.
You saw the video.
No, he shot the jump shot. Main time you see him shooting the jump shots. For the most part, he was working with his trainer. He shot an open gym maybe one time. I don't
agree with that.
Maybe one time.
Remember, that was the whole thing everybody came and hyped about. Like they was watching Ben Simmons shooting jump shots over defenders.
Try to end it. Look at it.
All right, we're about to roll. I think we exhausted this topic.
No, we didn't. Hold on. But real talk.
No, you are always going to say Ben is garbage. You always going to say.
No. One more point. This is my point. I'm talking about mindset. And you're talking about young players, and that's true. We talked about last week, DK Metcalf. This boy came in.
No, hold on. You just talked. Now I'm going to refute what you said about that.
Okay.
Because you said about the mindset. This is my whole point is, how do you not know that Embiid thought him working off in the off season, doing this is him in it. Like they don't necessarily know what that is. Like if this is what you think, like Ben Simmons think hitting in the gym and being strong and athletic and this, that, and other, and shooting the jump shots against the travel team in Australia is putting in work. Now you got dudes telling them that's not putting in work.
Exactly.
That's what putting in work is.
Hold on. This is my thing. They've been telling them this.
Shaq you know who been telling them that?
Shaq was on TNT.
Shaq ain't on his team.
Y'all can wrap this up.
I hate no head.
Y'all can wrap this up on Polo, but we're going to wrap this up right now.
You and Shaq the same age?
Y'all, listen. Who?
Wayne and Shaq, he said.
I don't know how old is Shaq.
He's probably younger.
Listen.
He probably younger.
Thank y'all. Once again, thank y'all for joining us on the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. This was fun. We had a fun night. We talked some NBA, some NFL.
Go subscribe to that YouTube page.
I'll see you after the cameras go off.
I know.
I'm not done yet.
Y'all can finish your little rumble.
I'm coming back for y'all. I don't know why Tim trying to end it. I'm not done yet.
This is what Tim,
This is what he do. This is what he does.
Maybe we'll record the next one. We'll have like the outtakes. Since
we'll do an outtake.
Tim got bedtime. That's what.
Maybe we'll record another one without Tim. How about that?
Tell wifey to stop calling you off the camera.
Again, thank you for calling and listening. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We'll see y'all on the next podcast. Oh yeah.
No.
One footnote. Next week, we're gonna be bringing our top 10 of the NBA top 50. We're gonna start out with the first 10. We're gonna work together as a group. We're gonna bring y'all our top 10,
I'm cool
and then each week until we get to the top 50, we'll be bringing this. It's gonna get harder. It's gonna get harder as we go. We're gonna go based off of the list that was compiled by ESPN back in May, but we are gonna bring our top 10, and it may change. That top 10 may change. Like Wayne brought up some points, but again, thank you for listening.
Got hair on your knuckles?
No, it's Tom. Tim want to be. He want to be
Turn
Tom.
it off, Tim. Turn it off.
Run till that.
Deuces.